Hey guys, so in this video we'll be seeing, in this series actually we'll be seeing how to authenticate requests in Express.js, and this is the first part where we'll be setting our user model, and for that we will be using MongoDB as our database. So first thing is that you have to go into this Mongo Atlas website and you have to sign up there. So it was actually previously owned by MLab also, so they actually moved into Atlas recently. So you have to sign up to Atlas. So I have signed up, and what you have to do, you will be seeing this type of screen here, and you have to click on build a cluster. So we will select a free version here, and the cluster name can be anything. um, let's go with user test, or maybe auth test, auth. So just click on create cluster. So cluster is being created. So in the meanwhile, we'll set up a Express app here. So let's go into the terminal. Okay. Let's go into the terminal and let's first make an directory for this. So let me create a folder for this. Let's say auth test and cd into the auth test. And let's initialize npm module here. So using npm init function. And the things we'll be needing for now is Express and Mongoose, and if you need any other modules you can install after that. So while it's installing, let's go see. So it is installed now, so we can now create a file called index.js, and we can go into that and start editing the file. So as said, first we'll be needing Express as usual, and we'll be needing app, which is an instance of Express, and also we'll be needing an import variable to listen to. For now we'll just set it to 5000, and we also need Mongoose, which we have installed. And also the app must listen to some port which we have created here, so the port variable 5000, and there will be a callback. We'll just console.log in that, saying server at this port. So this must actually keep the app running. Let's open a tab here, and let's see the app test, and let's say node. Let's say node index.js, and you can see the server is listening. So let's cancel that and go to this. And now what we want to do is we want to connect our database which we have not created yet. So let's go to Chrome. Let's try refreshing this. Okay, it's created. So what we have to do is, first thing, we have to use this connect variable here. So this gives us a string actually in an URI which we can use to connect to this database. So we'll use this option, connect to your application, and we can see that there's a string here, and we can just copy that, and we'll come here and we'll use this Mongoose variable we have created and use the connect function inside it. That actually takes one parameter, which is this string itself, and it is a promise. So we can say on then. What we want to do is we want to have a callback which says connected. But if any error occurs, we can just console.log that error. Okay, so you can see here that there are two variables here, username and password. We have not created that actually, so we can create the user here. So in the side you can see here there's a tab called database access, so we have to go into that so that we can give ourselves some access. So here you can see that there's a button called add new database user, so we can click that and we can give and username here, let's say auth, and a password, let's say auth1234, and we can add the user so that the user is added now, and we can go back into the terminal, and instead of user we can say auth, which we have created just now, and instead of password we'll be saying auth1234. And db name, actually this one is not needed, but we will say we have created a db name which is auth, so we'll put that too. So now let's try starting the server. So there are some warnings. You can see that the database is connected now. So as this is done now, so let's create a first model here. So I'll be just creating it in one separate file here. Let's say let's touch user.js, which creates a new user.js file, and we can go here and open the file. Okay, so the first thing we'll be needing is Mongoose. We'll import that. And Mongoose has a terminology or an entity called a schema. It is used to represent any model. So for example, an user has an email, a password, and his phone number. So a schema represents all of those details. So in order to create that schema, you have to import that schema first. You can do that by creating a variable schema and actually not required. You can use a Mongoose variable here, and it has a property called schema. So you can use that now. And how can we use this schema variable is that we can create a new schema variable by doing new schema and sending in an object. So this object will contain some properties, but we want to store this in a variable. So we'll say maybe user is equals to new schema, so that all those properties will be stored into this variable user. So usually what information does an user have? So let's also remind ourselves that an user also has to have a primary key, or let's say an unique key, which normally is an email. So let's create an email here. So usually we give a type, which is the type of variable it is string, and also we can say that it is required. So you can put required is true, so that if it is not filled, it will throw us an error. And we'll also have a password here, which is of type string as well, and the put required is true as well here because it is needed. And we also need a name here, so it is also type string, but we don't need to put required of true because it's not compulsory, let's say, at least for our application. And we want to, so this is the user file here. So how would this index.js know that there is a user schema here? So for that, typically in JavaScript or usually in Node.js at least, we'll be using module.exports. So module.exports is equals to the variable you want to export, which is user, and we can do mongoose.model. It's a user model. And what is this user model here? Which is the user above. So this is our schema here. So we can come to this index.js and we can import our user, the same user equals to requiring that file in eventually. So now we can perform any operation on this user module. So you can see that there are many here, like find one, find by id. We'll be seeing in the next video. Thank you for watching.